Before the pain, there was a conversation that he never heard.
Have you considered my servant Job? Take it all away, and he will curse you.
On earth, the most upright man in the East, and he knew nothing. In a single day, everything was taken from him.
Naked I came, naked I return. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken.
What sin? What guilt?
Why?
Where were you when I laid the earth's foundations? Behold now, Behemoth. Who dares rouse Leviathan? All under heaven is mine.
Prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. There was a land in the east, Uz, wide, ancient, marked by the sun and the silence of the fields, and in it a man, unlike all the others, Job. Not for his wealth, though he had it, not for his standing, though all acknowledged it, but for something rarer. He was blameless, upright. He feared God, and he turned away from evil. When he passed through the city gates, the elders rose to their feet, and the needy ran to meet him. An old man came near, bent low, his voice trembling.
Sir, the creditors have taken my field, and I am left with nothing.
How much do you owe? It was not for me alone.
Father to the poor, and a refuge to the one who...
He always does.
His house was great, 7 sons, 3 daughters. 7,000 sheep covered the valleys. 3,000 camels crossed the desert. 500 yoke of oxen, 500 donkeys, and servants beyond counting. There was no one in the East greater than he. But his greatness was not in what he... And when his children gathered from house to house, the joy had no end. That night, the eldest son opened the doors.
Come in, brothers. Today, the table is mine.
Laughter, cups raised high. One of the daughters spun in the music.
May our days never end.
To the house of our Father, and to the God who sustains it.
And the joy filled the night. The eldest son rose to his feet.
Brothers,
That this would be the last feast. But far away, in his house, Job kept watch. A servant came near.
To offer.
And at dawn he rose, and offered burnt offerings, one for each of his children.
If any of them
Job did. Ours, there was a hall, without walls, bathed in a light that did not come from the sun. And there gathered the armies of heaven, hosts of light, beings before a throne of gentle fire. There came a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and among those beings of light came also a shadow, the accuser, Satan, the one who roams, the one who watches, the one who searches for a crack. And the Lord spoke with the voice that upholds the worlds. Where have you come from? And the accuser answered, cold.
From roaming the earth and walking back and forth upon it.
Then the Lord said, have you considered my servant Job? There is no one like him on the earth, a man blameless and upright, who fears God and turns away from evil. Silence, and the accuser smiled.
Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not put a hedge around him on every side? Around him, his house, and all that he has? You have blessed the work of his hands, but stretch out your hand. Touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face.
The heavens fell silent, and the Lord answered without hesitation.
Behold, all that he has is in your hand. Only against him do not stretch out your hand.
And the accuser went out from the presence of the Lord to strike. On earth, it was a day like any other.
My lord, the oxen were plowing, and the donkeys grazing beside. What are you saying? Master, the fire of God fell from heaven. The Gideons, Master. They came in 3 bands.
They came out of the dust and vanished back into it. My lord, your sons and your daughters were all gathered together at the feast in the house of the eldest brother.
Silence. Job did not move. His lips trembled, and in a whisper, he called. Silence. His world.
My boys.
Silence. His world collapsed in a single day. The wealth, the servants, the children, everything. But then, he stood up. But he didn't run, he didn't shout, he didn't curse. In silence, he tore his cloak and fell to the ground, not in despair, but in adoration. Then, in profound humility, he shaved his head. And when his voice finally rose, it carried the pain of a broken heart, but also the firmness of a spirit that remained standing.
The Lord gave, and the Lord, blessed be the name of
The old servant who had heard it all could not hold back his tears.
what was given to me.
His head, and did not know. And among them, the accuser, once more.
Where do you come from? From roaming the earth and walking back and forth across it.
Have you considered my servant Job? Still he holds to his integrity, though you moved me against him to bring him to ruin without cause.
But the accuser would not relent.
Skin for skin. All that a man has, he will give for his life. But reach out your hand now and touch his bone and his flesh.
He is in your hand. Only spare his life.
And the accuser went out. And struck Job. Sores, most respected man in the, took a shard of pottery to scrape.
Look now. Let me go. There remain.
The servant bowed his hand, covered in dust, because they were watching on the city, stench of sick, the greatest man, the one who had crossed above. She stopped a few steps to touch the wounds. Her eyes swept the emptiness around them, the dry earth.
Curse God and die! Ah!
Only a deep sorrow,
You speak as any fool.
and wept in silence. Longer had the strength to believe. She rose slowly, but the news had a thin column of dust on it. But when they drew near and that was Job, tore their own robes 7 nights, and the wind kept on sweeping the ashes. Silence returned. All that remained, and did not curse God.
Was born, become darkness. Let no light. Why did I draw?
He's a place where pain cannot
Rest, asleep.
Sometimes it is the voice of God.
look now.
at Behemoth, which I made along with you. He eats grass like an ox. His strength is in his loins. His bones, who had sat among the ashes, rose whole once more. 1,000 yoke of oxen, ox covered the valleys, 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, 1,000 donkeys, double all that he had had. And the wife who had crossed with him the darkness, crossed with him also the morning. They did not speak of what they had lost. They only held what they had been given. For the Lord gave them once more 7 sons and 3 daughters, and the house filled again with life, with little footsteps down the halls, with laughter in the fields. And Job, who had wept 10 graves, heard once more the joy beneath his roof. And there were no women in all the land as beautiful as the daughters of Job. He named them Jemimah, Keziah, and part of Job was no longer the same. The years passed serene, and Job lived 140 years more. He saw his children and the children of his children to the 4th generation. And then, when his days were complete, Job departed, old and full of days. No whirlwind, no fire from heaven, only peace. The same voice that once had given and had given again, and the desert that had witnessed his sorrow kept forever the echo of one certainty, that his Redeemer lived, and that in the end Job had seen him with his own eyes.